I am so excited for you to be joining me today for my free live masterclass, Illuminate Your Brand Soul. So today we're going to be talking about 5 secrets to illuminate the brand that defines you. And we're also going to be doing a little bit of preparation for the new moon tomorrow. Sometimes in this masterclass, I like to actually do a new moon ceremony, but because we're actually not quite yet in that new moon phase and the energy of the new moon isn't quite there yet, I'm just going to give you some tips on how to do that new moon ritual for yourself. So let me see. Click. There we go. So if you are a visionary business woman, a business owner, a woman business owner, you have found the right place. And what I mean when I talk about the visionary woman business owner is that you have something that you really want to share with the world, a vision of how you want to improve the world. You have something to teach. You have something to inspire and in your own unique way. And you do not follow the crowd. You know that there is your own truth that you need to follow in your own way. And that to me is the visionary, right? Oh, Noel says, yes, new moon. I am such a new moon goddess. Oh, Julie from Santa Fe. Hello. I love New Mexico. I was just in Taos earlier this year. Anyway, so if you are a visionary business owner, please type a yes in the chat. All right, so I'm just jumping in here because we have 60 minutes and there is so much to cover today, right? So we're going to be talking about a little bit about the new moon so that you can really plant some seeds tomorrow around the Virgo energy. We're going to be talking about the 5 secrets. The first secret is that your brand is written in the stars. The second secret is that it's all elemental. And I don't mean it's easy. It's all based on our elements. Secret 3 is that the moon, our moon sign, is the key to igniting action and healing our financial success stories. Secret 4 is that our rising sign is the magnet to our ideal customer. And secret 5 is that fortune favors the bold. And then if you stay to the end, I have a gift, a very generous gift to you that I would love to offer. All right, so I hear a lot of yeses. Excellent, here we go. So I know I've struggled a lot in my business. I'll tell you more about my business in a bit, but I'm curious, have you been feeling kind of unaligned, kind of unknown, just like really struggling to sometimes stay motivated in your business? Like, you know, you're really, really good at what you do, even great, but like your money is not like quite where you think it should be. Or maybe you're not consistently attracting your ideal customers. Like you're getting the customers, but they're, you know, for whatever reason, they're not the perfect ones for you. And you feel like maybe you're putting yourself out there, but like you're not getting any engagement, not creating any conversations, or you really want to connect more and you're just like not making any impact, right? Oh my gosh, Ariel, yes. Noelle, yes. I've struggled with this, right? So you kind of get overwhelmed and you're like, what the heck? Like, what's the point? Why am I even doing this? And like feeling you're just kind of like going in this hamster wheel and kind of feeling stuck, but don't know exactly where to go. I'm hearing a lot of yeses, and I have been there before. And really what the root of this problem, totally, why am I trying to live my purpose? Does anybody even care about my purpose, right? We're going to talk about all of these things because these symptoms that I talked about, I'm calling them unalignment. We're not aligned. And when we are not aligned to our brand, our personal brand, our business brand that was written in the stars, we're actually working against our highest good. We're actually working against our universally given energies that we've been born with. And when we don't take this time to do the inner work and the inner healing and the inner insight, we don't actually know ourselves well enough to be able to connect to our higher selves. And when we're not connecting, when we're not aligned, we're actually closed off to all of the inspiration and the opportunities that are waiting for us. But when we're able to connect and align to these things, we become unstoppable. So today we're going to be talking about how to bring confidence and clarity. I know that there's other women in here who are bringing confidence and clarity to their customers so that they can become unstoppable. And once you embrace what I'm going to be teaching to you today, you're going to be so inspired to all of the opportunities waiting for you, and you'll be activated to evolve your business to the next level. So here we go. So when you elevate and evolve your brand, and I know that as a visionary businesswoman, you know all about evolution, right? Where our business is a journey, and it's not necessarily about the destination, but it's continuously learning about ourselves, right? When we are able to evolve our brand from kind of where it is now, we will start to believe in our own talents and gifts, right? So Julie's like, why am I trying to live my purpose, right? Now we have to start believing in our purpose, our talents, and our gifts. When we finally believe, then we can embrace our expertise, right? And then when we embrace our expertise, then we can step out to be seen, right? Instead of hiding. And then once we embrace all of our talents and our expertise, not only do we believe it, but now we embrace it. Now we will embody and become that expertise and show up as the valuable person that will help others transform, right? And this is what our whole talk about is today, is how we transform and how we help others transform through our brand. When we have all of this in alignment, we are going to attract our ideal customers, and we will be able to go out there confidently and clearly to brand who you are, because there's nobody else like you, nobody else who can contribute your specific vision to the world. And there's never been a better time in this world to be uniquely us and contribute. Right? So if you're ready to contribute your unique self to the world, please type a yes. All right. So before we go on, yes, ma'am. Excellent. Well, so before, oh my God, so ready. I love this, everybody. This is so fantastic. So before I go on, I know that a lot of you are new to me. My name is Leslie Tagorda, and I call myself a brand navigator. I am an expert brand strategist and designer with over 15 years in the design and branding industry. I also now use astrology because I finally integrated my love of astrology into my work and all things moon. I've been kind of like a witchy astrology nut since the 6th grade. And I love helping women business entrepreneurs. I mostly work with women entrepreneurs. I work with some nonprofits and some startups and everything like that, but they always have some kind of heavy feminine quality. And I've worked with hundreds of women since I started my business in 2004. 2002, excuse me. I get the dates kind of mixed up because I actually had a corporate job for a couple of years while I was ramping up my web design business. But basically, since 2002, you can imagine that I've heard it all. I've heard how women get stuck. I heard where women remain hiding. I've heard all the stories that we tell ourselves and the excuses of why we can't do something, why we can't charge enough, why we can't earn enough. And let's say I had been in that exact stuck place for over 15 years. I'll share a little bit about my brand journey later, but basically where I am now, I have made a skyrocketed elevation in just 1 year. And so for all of you also visionary businesswomen out there, I also want you to know that if you have multi-talents, you're going to hear people say you have to niche, you have to niche. And yes, you definitely have to specify in order to make the bucks, but that doesn't mean that you only have to focus on one talent, right? I started this business because I am also a professional classical clarinetist. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but I have this whole other life of me where I tour with an ensemble, I play in orchestras, and I didn't want to be a starving artist. So I started this business to supplement my income. And now I have these two passions that both elevate at the same time. And I know you guys can do this for yourself. So Noelle says, oh my God, I've heard that all my life. I'm like, but I love so many things. And yes, there is a way to integrate these things and show up. This is what makes us unique and multifaceted and so, so valuable. Ariel, yes, I love this. So you can do it too. All right. So you've heard me chat a little bit about my vision. My mission is to guide you, visionary women business owners, to create their unique star-charted brand and go from unknown to unmatched. Right? No more cookie cutter brands. No more like looking for like the style that is like so hot right now. We are going to create a brand for you that is based uniquely on your natal chart. So tomorrow is the new moon in Virgo. And if you are a moon buff, or even if you're not a moon buff, the moon goes through different phases, and each phase has a different energy associated with it. The new moon is a time of planting seeds and intentions. And because the new moon follows the zodiac sign, we're in Virgo season right now. We're in August, late August. And the new moon is when the moon and the sun are in the exact degree in the zodiac. Okay, so tomorrow around 3:30 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will be new. And so anytime tomorrow after 3:30 Pacific time, I would love you guys to do a little new moon ritual for yourself to plant the seeds of intention. And it's so perfect with the new moon because it cycles through each of the zodiacs, 12 or 13 new moons a year. And each of those zodiacs represents a different part energetically, of our lives, and as a business astrologer of our businesses. So Noelle says, you got your crystals and sage ready. Yes. So, Virgo is the meticulous sign, right? Virgo is analytical. Virgo is organized. Sometimes Virgo is a little bit too much of a perfectionist. We're going to talk a little bit about getting over that perfectionist tendencies. Virgo is also about like daily wellness and daily routines, but when we talk about it in business, we're talking about our daily routines as creating habits that help us focus and accomplish and get organized in our business, right? So, for some people, especially for visionary business women, the Virgo energy might be like, oh my God, I have to look at my numbers. Oh my God, I have to get organized. But I'm here to show you that we can really embrace all of this. And today we're really going to focus our talk on the primary Virgo archetype energy, which is service to others. That's why I have this lovely photo of this nurse, because to me, a nurse is like the embodiment of Virgo energy, right? She will do anything to help her patients and to help them heal and to help them accomplish whatever they are set out to do. So when we think about our businesses and services to others, right? We wouldn't have a business if we weren't serving others. So if you could just like jot down on a piece of paper so you remember this, because tomorrow I want you to create a new moon ritual about the things that we talked about today in the filter from the perspective of how do you want your business to serve and transform others? Right? I'm going to say that again. How do you want to service others? How do you want to transform your customer's life? Right? If we're not serving others, we don't really have a business, right? Whether you sell a product, whether you sell a service, people are not buying beauty products. They're not buying pieces of clothes. They're not buying hypnotherapy. They're not buying, like the actual offering that you're selling. They're buying the results from that product, right? They're buying feeling confident. They're buying looking confident. They're buying saving time, saving heartache, whatever that result of the transformation. That is what people are buying. So as you think about the seeds that you're going to plant tomorrow during the new moon, forget about how you're going to do this. The soil will take care of the how-tos. I want you to just create the seed, plant that seed of your intention. I would love to hear what some of the seeds that you're going to be planting tomorrow around how you serve and transform others, right? Now, when we think about our servicing and transforming others, you know, if you're really truly a Virgo type personality, you might get stuck up in like, well, I don't have everything figured out yet, or my brand is not really beautiful yet, or my website is not where I want it to be yet. You know, forget all of that. Throw that out the window because you are perfectly perfect just the way you are. And if you can accept your imperfections, you can move forward instead of keeping your perfections and having them be a crutch to keep you stuck. Does this make sense, everybody? Please give me a yes if you got it. I just want to make sure the chat is going. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So you can take a screenshot of this if you need to, so you can remember to set your intentions tomorrow. How are you of service to others? And what is the result of that transformation? All right. Again, don't worry about the how. The soil will handle that for you. Here we go. So tomorrow when you do your ritual, right, I want you to, of course, always start your rituals with, you know, grounding yourself, especially in Virgo season. You know, Virgo is an earth sign. It's an earth element sign. So you really want to ground in your body before you ground into the earth. And the best way to do that is to take a nice deep breath. Okay, we're gonna since we're not doing the ritual today, I'm gonna kind of pass through this, but just to kind of ground myself right now, I'm gonna take a nice deep breath and I'd invite you to join me. Nothing like a great clearing breath to kind of just get your nervous system to be calm. All right. So before we go on to the 5 secrets, I want to explain a couple of important terms to understand before we go forward. So first thing we'll be talking about is our astrological natal chart. Sometimes I call this your star charted gift. Sometimes I'm going to be calling this your birth chart. But basically, your astrological natal chart is a map of the stars and the luminaries at the time that you took your first breath from that place on earth, right? So it's really important to get an accurate natal chart. You need to know what time you were born, hopefully to the minute, because there's some luminaries like the moon that go really fast, and the rising sign that also moves pretty quickly. We need our rising sign because that kind of pinpoints from the place and time that you were born, kind of the dial of the house system, right? So it's really important to know your time and place of birth. So if you don't actually know this, you know, do your best to kind of do some sleuthing. I know I've had some customers that have, you know, contacted the hospital where they were born, or have asked, you know, people that were alive during their birth. And if you don't know and don't have any access to that information, you can always hire, there's specific astrologers that help you figure out that that placement. All right. Does everybody here know their time and place of birth? So, perfect. Yes, yes. Okay. So when I talk about brand, I want to make something very clear. The way that I look at a brand is I look at the brand as the experience people have with your business. Okay. It's a holistic experience. It's not just like a singular thing like your logo or your website or your packaging. All of those definitely for sure contribute to the look of your brand, the identity of your brand, but it's also how your brand impacts people and how it makes them feel, right? So that feeling that you impress, whether they find you on social media, where they find you on, you know, YouTube, whether they find you at a pop-up that you've done, or they met you at a coffee shop, or your customer service experience, or even the emails that you get. All of that to me encompasses your entire brand. It is a holistic approach to the experience of your business. Jennifer says, yes, my mother reminded me earlier this week on your birthday. Oh, you know, our mothers know our birthdays way better than us. It was much more impactful for them. So now that we have, oh yes, and happy belated birthday, happy solar return. Thank you. I just glided right over that. My apologies. Um, so now that we have those terms covered, the first secret that we're going to dive into, I know this is the juicy things that you guys have been waiting for, is that your brand is written in the stars, right? And when we can align to those energies that were, you know, put in the stars, we will gain the clarity and the confidence, and we will then be able to work with those energies to expand, right? Our natal chart provides all this kind of insight into our brand, into our strengths, into our weaknesses and challenges, which, by the way, our weaknesses and challenges, once we overcome them, always are our biggest gifts. And then we can kind of work around those and the triggers and all that stuff. I'll get into that. So why astrology, right? Astrology has been used by so many cultures, you know, for the earliest, I think the earliest instances of astrology go back about 5000 BC. The ancient Egyptians used them, you know, the Polynesians explored the entire Pacific using astrology as well as astronomy. You know, back in the day, there was very little distinction between astronomy and astrology. The practitioners and the philosophers and the people that studied this, they practiced both. Now there's kind of a distinction. There's going to be astronomers that poo-poo astrology. I'm not here to change anybody's mind about astrology. You either believe it or you don't, because I don't have time to change the mind of non-believers. Right? But you know, it's an ancient system for self-knowledge, and it shows us all of our unique strengths. Some people use it for forecasting. I don't really normally use it for forecasting unless it's for myself. All cultures have some form of astrology, whether it's Western or Eastern astrology. There's so many different types of astrology. And, you know, for our hypnotherapist here, but people still use astrology and psychoanalysis. And the iconic, you know, father of modern psychotherapy, Carl Jung, loved to use astrology, especially for those cases that he had a really hard time to crack. So there's actually like many books where Carl Jung refers to astrology. I have this kind of really kind of geeky reference book about Carl Jung and astrology. Any psych majors in here besides me? I love psychology too. I didn't ever study it, but it always fascinated me. So, you know, we talked about earlier a little bit of the problems and the roots of those problems, but I'm going to kind of come back to this, right? About where our problems come from in our business when we're not portraying and communicating our business with clarity and confidence, right? We're, you know, all the problems we talked about earlier, you know, I post on social media, but all I hear is crickets. I want to be seen as a leader in my field, but not sure how. I'm not really making enough money as, you know, where I want to be to support the lifestyle that I want. Or, you know, we get so scattered and unfocused that we get overwhelmed, or we're serving clients. We're serving all of the clients instead of the right clients because we're in this like scarcity mindset, right? Like, I know I've done this. Or you don't know how to create a conversation that actually contributes value, right? And then when we don't have any of these things, often we stay in hiding, and then we don't have visibility. How can we be visible if we're hiding? So I know we talked about those problems, so we're not gonna, you know, dwell there. We're going to just keep on moving forward. We can acknowledge that we have those problems, but now let's go to the solutions, right? Because when we don't have clarity in our brand, it is confusing to others, right? Like if you can think about like a shop window that has all kinds of like junk in it, you're like, what does this shop sell? Do they sell clothes? Do they sell used instruments? I don't understand. And when our customers don't understand, they don't buy from us. And if nobody buys from us, well, we can't fund our lifestyle, right? And this manifests in so many ways. So what do you offer To whom do you offer it? And what is the result of that offer? Those three things are the things that we have to embody and talk about in our brand all the time. So even if you think you only talked about it once, you have to talk about it over and over and over again. Right? And so this goes into that Virgo archetype of what is our service to others? What do you offer? To whom do you offer it? And what is the result of that offering? Right? And sometimes we're not clear on that aspect of our business. We're like too close. We can't separate the forest from the trees, right? Like we can't really see it for ourselves because we're like so deep in it that we don't have confidence, right? And you know how that is. It's like when you're not confident, we're not visible. And if we're not visible, how are we going to make any impact, right? So today, when we're setting intentions for how we're going to serve others, I really want you to think about that impact, that transformation. That's the impact, is the transformation and the results that you're getting, people. Because when we're energetically aligned to that, guess what? We have confidence. Does that make sense? Sometimes I feel like I can get into a tangent. So give me a yes if that still is making sense to you. Perfect. Pamela says yes. Excellent. All right. So I have a framework and I call it the Astro Brand Framework. And this is how it works, right? And so perfect, Julie says, yes, this is fab. So this is how it works. This is actually my natal chart right here. And to me, it's the divine point of view of the potential that we have in our lives, right? Our astrological natal chart shows us where we have knowledge, where our strengths are. It gives us a hack for understanding our opportunities, also our purpose and direction. I know sometimes when we're working in our work, like somebody said earlier, why am I even working in our purpose, right? Because like maybe people are not really seeing the value. They don't understand how that purpose impacts them. This is the things that we need to heal. These are the places that we need to close that gap so that we can like really go out and talk about our purpose, give it direction, and show people the value of that purpose, right? So when we do all of that inner work, we then start to align to our brand, right? We talk about this, like alignment is, we can work against our brand and we can just suffer and suffer and suffer. It feels like we're just going uphill. But when we, align to our brand, it's like all of a sudden your gears downshift and you're like, I'm kind of in this flow. It still takes a lot of work. You're still pedaling, but now you're not just constantly pedaling upstream, right? So when your brand is aligned, it changes things. You gain confidence and clarity to be seen, to be known. And when your brand is aligned, you know what decisions to make, you know what actions to take to get you in the right place. You know who your ideal customer is, and you know how to communicate your value to your ideal customers. You know how to start creating a dialogue, right? So let's kind of look at my framework in just kind of a little bit. If you have more questions about my framework later, I would love to know, happy to answer any questions, right? But the way the pillars of my framework revolve around our sun sign, our moon sign, and our rising sign, where our sun sign, and this is like the trifecta, right? This is the trifecta that informs everything in our brand. And we flavor our trifecta with all of the different placements of the different planets and the aspects that they make to each other. But our sun represents the heart and soul of our brand, and I call this the core of our brand. Right? This is our expertise, what we do really well. This is what we radiate. The sun radiates, right? So how we radiate our energy. And the moon is our inner brand. This is the place that, the inside of us, we'll go into depth about the moon sign, but this is the place that sometimes our customers are not going to see it, but we need to really be clear on how we desire to be seen in our brand. And our rising sign is our outward brand. This is like, if you think about the vision of your brand, like what it looks like, the personality of your brand, that's based on your rising sign. That is your outer brand, and that is how people will come to your business in the first place, right? So when we have all of these things aligned, we can create, when it's aligned with the sun and the moon, can you see my cursor? When it's aligned with the sun and the moon, we get our vision, that pure purpose of our business. And then when we align our moon, how we want to be seen, with our rising, how we are being seen, that informs our style. But the most important thing here after our vision is not style, it's the voice. It's the voice of our business. All of the messaging that we put out, all of the things that we want to talk about, all of the personality that comes through in our messaging. All right, does this still make a little bit of sense here? So this is kind of my story. I want to kind of explain how I discovered my Astro Brand framework, because I mentioned earlier that my brand journey hasn't always been so excellent, right? I started my business in 2002, and largely till 2018, I had zero visibility. Largely, I definitely stayed hidden. I've had groups of clients who really loved me and we did really good work, but I never put myself out there. And my clients kind of also had that same energy. They did a really great job, but they also didn't really put themselves out there. And I'm super grateful for all of my clients that I had in these 15 and 16 years, because they taught me so much, but I had very, very little impact. And so I was ready to throw in the towel. So a little more than a year ago, in July of 2018, and instead of throwing in the towel, I looked at my astrological natal chart. I was like, what's here? And I was looking outside for all of these answers. I was like, going to different websites, trying to find out what my brand archetype is. I was going to all of these places trying to find the answers outside of me. But when I looked at my natal chart, I was like, oh my gosh, it was here the entire time. And what I mean by that is that I got crystallized. I was like, if my natal chart, my personality, my psychological makeup is multifaceted, meaning that it's all of these different parts in my natal chart, then of course a business and a brand is too. This is amazing. So what ended up happening is I had, 15, 16 years of branding experience. I put it in a framework that aligned to a natal chart, and I was stunned. I was like, wow, it was under my nose this entire time. And as soon as I aligned to my own astrological energies, opportunities just kept on coming and coming and coming. I had an opportunity to work with an amazing business coach. I invested in myself for the first time since undergrad. Like, I'd never spent so much money on myself, but let me tell you, that investment was worth every single penny, because in less than a year, I created an entirely new business model around this Astro Brand framework. I launched an entire branding program around this new framework, and I created this ginormous, well, to me, it's ginormous. It's all perspective. I created this online community. My Facebook group is not even a year old. It has like 500 people in it. Could I have more? Yes. Could I have less? Yes. But I love my community. And I've run my program now 3 times in the last year. All of my members are getting huge results, and I am making way more revenue by sharing my vision. So this is all in 1 year, ladies. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I look back at the year and I am totally grateful and in awe of everything that I did. So what could this mean for you if you were aligned to your Astro Brand? Could you type in a boom if it would be amazing? Oh, yes, or amazing. That's perfect. What would it mean for you? Boom. I love it. Yes, Pamela, I love this. Ariel, boom. So wonderful. Yeah, where could you be? Imagine yourself a year from now if you really aligned to your natal gift. Where could you be in a year? It's really boggling how much I've done in the last year. So secret 2, it's elemental, my dear. When we look at our natal charts, all of the signs and all the zodiacs, they have an element that's assigned to them, right? And these elements kind of give us a key into our strengths and our weaknesses, depending on if there's gaps, right? And when a lot of the times as a business owner, especially if you're kind of like a solopreneur, we're trying to do everything, right? And that is not sustainable. And it doesn't allow us to focus. It doesn't allow us to focus and spend our time working in our strengths. Instead, we're scattered, we're feeling bad because we're trying to do things that we suck at. And if we don't focus on what we're really, really, really good at, we're going to stay small and have zero impact for a long, long time. I know what my strengths are, and trust me, I have a team of people that I hire for their particular strengths where I don't have those strengths, where my weaknesses are, right? Otherwise, I couldn't get everything that I want to get done. And hiring people and building out your team is not as expensive as you think it is. It's worth its weight in gold. I couldn't run my business without Jeff, who's on here with me right now. So let's talk about these elements. So, in Western astrology, there's 4 elements. Chinese astrology, there's 5 elements. But for Western astrology, there are 4 elements. Fire. Oh, I have these written wrong. Jeff, can we make a note to change this slide, please? I still didn't fix this. Excuse me. So fire is the inspiration, right? This is spirit. This is the energy to move things forward. And so the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I also see that Aries is spelled wrong. Jeff, can you please make a note of that? And then I'm going to skip from fire comes air. The air signs are about your mind, the input and the output about how you process things in your head, your intellect, you're wanting to connect and relate with others, right? This is kind of the social aspect. And our air signs are Libras, Aquariuses, and Geminis. And then after air, right, we get inspired, we think about something, and then it comes to our heart, right? And I look at the heart as the water sign. The water signs are the people, the elements that is all about feeling and emotions and that kind of flowiness, right? And the water signs, things in our heart, they activate, our emotions activate our actions, right? And so if we're not feeling emotionally secure, or if we're feeling fearful, it's going to make us do certain things or not do certain things. And so that's why our heart is what enables us to take action, right? So our water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, right? When we feel secure in our business and what we really want, then we can take action. And taking action, the practical action of like doing and moving, that's earth, right? And our earth signs are our practical signs like Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, which we're in right now, right? Do you guys know what your element, your sign is? Please share it in the chat. So not only are there elements associated with the sign, but there are qualities associated with each of these signs. Now, the qualities, sometimes we call them modes. The cardinal signs are like the leaders, the action takers, the instigators, right? They're like, hey, everybody, let's go to a party. Let's have a party, right? Those are our cardinal signs. Now, the fixed signs are the ones who are the problem solvers, right? They, when you tell your group of friends, let's have a party, the fixed sign people is going to go to Yelp and they're going to look up all the different places you could like meet for the restaurant. And they're going to pick, the best restaurant. They're going to find that restaurant. They're going to make the reservations. Those are our fixed sign friends, right? But then our mutable sign friends are the ones when that reservation falls through, they're going to be like, it's okay. Let's just go with the flow. We'll go to a place next door. Where our fixed sign people are going to be like, no, our plans are failed. Right? So, well, that's me. So fixed. So we got a lot of, good. Earth, water, fire, air. Okay, we got a good balance here. Vanessa says, Sun in Taurus, Earth fixed, and Moon in Gemini, mutable. Yes. Oh, right. Double Gemini. Whew. Nice. So when we know these things about ourselves, right, we can then we can put into place systems for when, if we have a lot of mutable energy, like this, like Vanessa's a double Gemini. If we have a lot of mutable energy, then we're going to have to set clear boundaries, because we can go with the flow too much and we need the bumpers to hold us in. If we have a lot of fixed energy, we need to create systems that we don't get so stuck in our ways when things don't go out exactly like planned. And for our cardinal friends, you know, if you have a lot of cardinal energy, you're ever creating all these like new ideas, but are you following through, right? So when we look at the balance of our qualities and our elements, then we can see where the holes are missing and hire out and get help in the places where we need help. So this is on your natal chart, double cardinal, so you get it, right? So when you, if you go to a sign like astro.com and you get your natal chart filled out, it's free on astro.com. I'm not a, you know, I don't have any affiliation with them. They're just a great free resource. You'll have this elemental chart here. And this chart will show you, you see there's the rows of fire, air, earth, and water. They'll have the rows, and then they'll have the columns of cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So again, this is my elemental chart, and you can see that I have a ton of go with the flow energy, which is great. But you know, I'm really one of these people that every time a bright shiny object happens, I'm like, oh, let's try this, oh, let's try that, let's try this. And gratefully I have my team that says, well, actually, Leslie, we're just working on this project right now. You can also see that I don't have a ton of water, but gratefully I have a very strong planet like Mercury. That's one of our internal personal planets that's in water. So when you don't have a lot of water, sometimes you are not very emotional. I can definitely be on the more logical side. I'm definitely like loving and I love people. But when things get hard emotionally, you can ask my husband, I'm out the door. I'm like, see ya. Oh, thank you, Jeff, for putting the astro.com link there, right? So I can see this in my chart that I don't have a lot of with emotional things. I'm like, I'm out of here. And we can see this in your chart too, right? So it's really important to know that. So I want to talk about one of my clients, Deborah. Deborah is so wonderful. She was a web design client many years ago, and she recently finished Crystallize. She's an artist and a massage therapist, and all of her art and all of her massage therapy has this element of kind of like shamanic healing in them. It's really beautiful. And Deborah, when we were working together, some of the stories that she was telling herself was that her life, she didn't want to teach. She didn't want to be a leader. She didn't want to, she had all these things that she didn't want to do. But after we were working together and we're looking at her elements, it was really apparent that she had all of this fixed energy, meaning she could problem solve and get deep into things. And I was like, why aren't you using a lot of this fixed energy to figure out why you're not becoming a leader in your field? Because I have some of her chart covered up here, but she has everything in her chart pointed to leadership. Like you can see this Jupiter on her ascendant, expansion for being an innovative leader. She had another planet, I can't remember, at her midheaven. Everything in her chart pointed her to being a leader and a teacher. And after we worked together, she actually started to embrace that leadership ability. And now she's the curator of her gallery, and she's been teaching workshops. And this is a lovely quote that, oh, it kind of got cut off. But she said to me, the truth is that I'm actually a very good teacher and leader, and it is time for me to get over myself and share my gifts with more people. Yes, it's time. It was time. I get it. Thanks for the excellent reading on Wednesday and for your support, as well as challenging me to grow. Phew, you are a fabulous coach and teacher. I forget what the rest of it said. Sorry, I chopped it off. But it was fabulous working with Deborah over the course of 4 months to get her brand all aligned. So let me ask you, how impactful could you be if you were super aware of your elemental and modal strengths and that you focused and worked in those strengths? Give me a yes or a boom if you could be more impactful. And I'm going to go on because we still have a few more secrets. Boom chakalaka. I love this. Definitely more impactful. Oh my gosh. Okay, secret three, we talked about this. The moon sign ignites action and heals, right? Our moon sign represents our emotional selves, our intuitive selves. It also in our chart represents a place where how we want to be seen, a place that really requires a little bit of healing. So I like to look at the moon sign for some of where we got our money stories from. Oftentimes our money stories are deeply aligned with our values, like our self-worth. And if we don't have good self-worth, we're definitely not making a lot of money. Like that's just the fact, right? And so the moon helps us take action and get unstuck because we now can like look at what the moon is, telling us that we need to heal. The moon allows us to listen to our emotions and intuition. The moon tells us how and where we need to feel secure, right? All of us have different needs for security. The moon also unlocks our mindset and belief within ourselves so that we can transform, right? And we talked about the money stories. So like when we look at our moon sign, right, it just unlocks so much. Like we were talking about our emotional center as being, you can either be excited or fearful. And those are the two biggest instigators of taking action, right? So when we know what needs to be healed, we can overcome those roadblocks. If we're just kind of ignoring the things that need to be healed and ignoring those roadblocks, guess what? We're just running into the dead end every single time. We cannot move past a roadblock by trying to ram through it. We have to overcome a roadblock by lovingly acknowledging and accepting where we need healing so that we can do the work. Yes. So another thing with the moon sign is to listen to our emotions versus our intuition. Now, we talked a little bit about fear, and fear is a huge, huge motivator or demotivator, right? We could be scared of success. We could be scared of failure. We could be scared of rejection. There's so many things that individually we can be scared of. And that fear makes us do certain things, or oftentimes in business, that fear prevents us from doing things, right? Prevents us from being seen, prevents us from going on social media, prevents us from doing things. So if you think about it, before I came on to this webinar, this masterclass today, I've done this masterclass probably like 6 or 7 times, and it hasn't been since May. And I actually love doing it while I'm here. But you know what? I still get scared every single time. But instead of letting the fear stop me, I say, hey, fear, I see you. I recognize you. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. But I'm going to do this really scary thing anyway because I know it's going to help me grow. Has anybody ever felt like that? Just type me yes if you've ever felt that fear but done it anyway. And so when we look to the moon sign, yes, every day, yes, right? We all face these fears. Like we're not in it alone, right? And fear would like to believe that we are in it alone. So sometimes when we're working with our business and we're working on our mindset and our belief set, we have to look at fear versus intuition. Fear will always have an emotional charge. Intuition will not, right? Now, sometimes emotion can be like, yes, go ahead and do that thing, right? And that's really exciting. That's like the highest vibration of emotion. But sometimes you just know in your gut that you're supposed to be doing something, even if it's scary, right? Like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to figure this out. And so really the key between deciding whether it's an emotion like fear or intuition that's stopping you is fear is going to be like, no, don't go down that dark, scary alley. Whereas intuition is going to be like, hey, that alley doesn't look very safe. Should you go down that path? right? It's very subtle, but it's really, the moon sign helps us figure out the difference between emotion and intuition. And that is a really important key to harness in our business as we grow, as we push the boundaries and keep on elevating, because it's very scary. We talked about also, what does comfort and security mean for different people. For me, comfort and security is feeling loved. Um, some people, comfort and security means making a lot of money or having a beautiful home, whatever the moon sign tells us that, right? We talked about our money story also. Oftentimes we get projected money stories that we then assume are our own, whether our parents gave us their money story, or a friend or a partner, gave us their money story. I want us to analyze what is our money story and figure out how this might be holding us back from our self-worth, from valuing ourselves, and from charging what we know we are worth. All right. And then, of course, the moon is all about mindset. So when we look at the moon sign, and I like to think of it in helping us with systems, right? Because when we know that we have triggers, we create systems that overcome those triggers when we get scared or something like that. So just really quick, the moon sign, we talked about this, taps into our emotions, uncovers how we really want to be seen, uncovers how we really want to feel, uncovers the wounds that need to be healing and transforms them into gifts. And it really helps us heal our self-worth and our money story, right? So that is the moon sign. So how could understanding your moon sign transform your business? How could it shed light on your fears? How could you acknowledge your desires, right? So I love the moon, and I know we have some moon sisters in here. All of these things from the moon. All right, so I want to tell you another story about another crystallized client. Her name is Patty. And oh my gosh, Patty is so amazing, because Patty, she'll learn something and she'll just take it and go. When Patty first started working with me about a year ago, when she joined Crystallized, she had a brand new business. And she has these amazing handmade, all natural, sometimes organic, beauty and bath products. And she's also a Reiki practitioner and a certified herbalist. Yeah. So anyway, she came in and her products were so amazing, and she was not charging enough for them. I was like, why is this so cheap? And she's like, well, I'm new in the field, and I have other, I have other people in my field who are not charging that much, and I'm just starting out, and all of these different excuses as to why she wasn't charging enough. And I asked her, and I was like, well, are your products good? And she said, well, yeah, they're great. Everybody loves them. I put Reiki healing in them, and I used her moisturizer. It's like so amazing. And I was like, well, so you have an associate who has 40 years under her belt, but she's not charging that much. Why is the way that she prices her products affecting the way you charge? And she's like, oh. And as we started peeling back the layers of the onion, we found out that Patty was still holding on to stories from her parents. Her parents had this massive lack syndrome. They're always saying, we don't have enough money. We don't have money for this. We don't have money for that. She became super, super frugal in her life, to the point where she was actually living in this scarcity mindset, right? And we kind of worked through those things. Patty raised her prices, just out of the bat. After she finished the Crystallized Brand Coaching Program, she raised her prices by 20%. She was scared, right? She was scared that she was going to lose clients. But not only did she not lose clients, she doubled her revenue and made more clients, because people were like, oh, yeah, now her price was aligned to the value of her product. They weren't thinking, what's wrong with this product? Why is it so cheap? Right? Does that make sense to you? When we don't value ourselves and when we price too low, people will wonder what's wrong with your offering. right? And so we have to kind of peel back the layers to work to understand our self-worth and the value of our product to get there. Is this does that make sense to everybody? Give me a yes. Yeah, Noel says it definitely makes people think twice about buying and working with you. And pricing is tricky, right? It's not just as simple as like raising your prices to meet your value. It's also finding the customers that value what you have to sell. So what if you could quickly recognize your fears and needs in business so you could move forward instead of staying stuck? Give me a boom if you're ready to move past your fears, or, acknowledge your fears and do it anyway. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. All right, this is where it starts to get really, really juicy. And I'm so, thank you for joining me this far, because this is where it gets really awesome. So secret 4, your rising sign connects you to your community. Your rising sign embodies so many different things. Your rising sign was a sign on the eastern horizon that was rising at the time of your birth. And it's the door to your business. It creates your brand personality. So it informs your style and design and the voice of your brand. It also identifies and polarizes, magnetizes, the polarity of magnetization, and indicates, excuse me, too many words, one more time. The rising sign magnetizes your ideal customers, right? There is a formula with your rising sign and your descendant to really know energetically who your ideal customers are. And it's amazing. It's magical. Your rising sign also informs you how to create clear and engaging content so that you can contribute and open up a dialogue with people, right? This is the new economy. We are in a collaborative economy. We are all helping each other rise, right? And our rising sign gives us insight on how we need to make the best first impression. I am a Gemini rising, okay? And with Gemini rising, Geminis know a lot about a lot of things. They're the social butterflies, they're the storytellers, they're the communicators. So I know that I need to embody my Gemini rising so that I can attract my ideal customers, right? So when you're aligned with your rising sign, you know who your ideal customers are. You know the personality traits in your brand to emphasize, because we all have to show up as uniquely us. All of our quirks and all of our, those hidden things that you think people don't want to know about, all of the challenges, all of our vulnerabilities, we bring that into our brand story. Then we can make that memorable first and lasting impression, right? Gemini, I don't like that. Indecisive, fickle, selfish, disingenuous. That is the low vibration of Gemini. And, there's low vibrations and high vibrations of every sign, and it's our free will as to how we will express that quality. So the things that you've listed, Vicky, there for those the low expression of Gemini, there's so many wonderful things about Gemini. There's a lot of variation. So, the Jill of all trades. There is a lot of giving back instead of selfishness. Yes, sorry, Pamela. We'll see you soon. This is from your personal experience, unfortunately. Well, sometimes when you are attracting personal experiences that are of the low vibration, that actually means that you personally are not operating at your high vibration. You're actually operating at your low vibration. When you're only receiving low vibrations of different energies, that means that you are personally operating on your low vibration. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's great, because now we know that it's happened and we can raise your vibration. See, I learned tech really quickly, attract a lot of clients through writing and videos. Communications is your jam. There you go. That's Vanessa, you got it. That is right. So how you can use your rising sign to transform is this, where you get to create your clear messaging on who you serve and who you don't serve. You create your very strong brand personality that vibes with your ideal customers. You create a beautiful design that is visually cohesive that is specific to you, your entire family of visual identity, your logos, your colors, your fonts, your photos, that whole thing that is all part of how you package visually your brand and how to create engaging content and messaging, right? So, when we think about your visual brand elements, that's normally what we like to start with, right? Our logos and our color palettes, our font pairings, photographies, stock photos, our headshots, all of that. It's all from our rising sign. So how this manifests is that when we can align our brand visually and through our messaging to our personality, we then create a brand that is memorable and engaging and 100% unique to ourselves, that is going to magnetize our ideal customers, right? And now we're not trying to be anybody else. We're trying to just be ourselves. And I know we're going through a lot of things, and I'm sorry we're a little bit late here. I just have so many things to talk about. I hope you can still join with me here. So there are 11.6 million women-owned businesses, at least according to the National Organization of Women Business Owners from their 2017 census, right? So is your brand going to stand out? Or is your brand going to continue hiding? 11.6 million businesses. That is amazing. 80% of customers say that authenticity of content is the most influential factor in becoming a follower of a brand, right? So how do we become authentic to ourselves? How do we align to ourselves? And 70% of the members in my Facebook group, The Savvy Luminary, and if you're not yet a member, please join. It's a free but closed group of women business owners. 70% of the members in my group say they are not connecting consistently to their ideal customers, which leads me to believe they're not embodying their rising sign. So are you contributing? Are anything valuable, anything authentic, anything, are you contributing to position yourself as a leader? Right? And 94% of the respondents to this Gensler brand engagement study said they would be highly likely to recommend a brand that they were emotionally engaged with. So it's our responsibility to show up and create those conversations, to become friends, to emotionally engage with our customers and our future customers. So what would it mean for you to align your brand to its rising sign? Could you stand out more? Would you know your ideal customer? So of course, you know what I want you to do. Type in a yes or a boom. I'm going to try to go through quickly here. All of that. Boom. Yes, yes. So number 5, fortune favors the bold. I should change this from fortune favors the bold into investing in self opens you up to inspired action. To me, fortune favors the bold and investing in yourself is the same thing, because investing is trust. Investing takes trust in yourself. Investing takes trust in the person that you have chosen to help you along your path. And why I relate this to fortune favors the bold, it's a Latin proverb that means that if you're bold enough to trust yourself, fortune, and to do the things that are going to help you grow, fortune is going to favor you. Vicky says, what if you have a business partner who has a different rising sign? So if you have a business that, like it's not just you, we can do a natal chart of your actual business. Like if your business has a different collective personality than your own natal chart, then we would actually look at the natal chart of the actual business. So I've worked with businesses who've had partners. You can decide on when your business took its first breath. Sometimes it's the purchasing of a domain name. Sometimes it's a signing of a lease. Sometimes it's signing of the LLC. You can determine what the birth time and place of your business was from the moment you feel that your business really took its first breath, that it changed from kind of that embryonic state into like a full-fledged entity. And so we would look at the rising sign of your business in that respect. So why investing in yourself opens you up to inspired action. So the problem is, if you've been doing it the same way for a while and not making progress, if you don't change something, you're just going to stay on that same track, right? That momentum of doing it the same, that momentum of not making progress, right? And if you don't know where to go next with your business, or you kind of have an idea but you don't know how, you need to trust in yourself to find somebody or to help you get there, right? Like, none of us get to grow without help, right? I know that for a fact. I'm so excited. So how this works is that, we talked earlier about astrology opens us up to our exploration to help us figure out our purpose and direction. To, the rising sign helps us with our ideal customer. Moon sign helps us, figure out where we need to heal. And the overall chart shows us where our opportunities are, right? And when we do the work through our natal chart and through our astrological chart, we can see ourselves from a different perspective. And oftentimes it actually just validates what you already know. So this book, Big Magic, I don't know if you know this book personally, or if you've read this book by the author Elizabeth Gilbert. She's kind of famous. She writes about an idea that is not a new idea, but I like the way that she tells it. And she talks about in her book, The Big Magic, that jinn or genie, like from kind of like the Middle Eastern kind of format. Yes, I love that book too. So like, you think about Aladdin and his genie, right? The genie are actual spiritual entities looking for physical manifestations. Genies are spirits, so they can't manifest in our earthly plane. So they need humans like us to help them. So when we get inspired, fire, the genie, with an idea, they will pick a human that they know can live out their manifestation and bring it to fruition, right? So Elizabeth Gilbert had talked about in her book that she was starting about this book and she got inspired about a certain subject and she kind of left it off. And she met a friend who actually wrote about the exact same thing. And they were discussing how the jinn or the genie, they're like, oh, forget Elizabeth. She's not going to like fulfill my manifestation. I'm going to go on to the next human being. So what does that mean when you're thinking about inspiration? When you're doing the self-work, when you're investing in yourself, and when you're like really doing the inner work, those opportunities just come knocking at your door. It's 100%. I've experienced it so many times. Jennifer says, this is the second time this book has been mentioned to me this week. It's been on my list for years. I may have to finally read it. Jennifer, this is such a fun book. It's really a quick and easy read. You will get so much inspiration out of it. So this was where it comes to another client of mine, Lisa. Lisa and I have been collaborating together for years. First is just kind of like doing web design, but then she also decided to invest in herself, and she took Crystallize, my brand coaching circle. And during this time, we really figured out, based on her rising sign, she is a Cancer rising sign. So when you think about a real estate agent in a competitive market like San Francisco, you're not necessarily going to be thinking of a nurturing sign like Cancer. But what we discovered with Lisa when we were working on her purpose and like really figuring out how she could stand out in a competitive field, it was to use that nurturing, loving kindness of Cancer. And that was going to attract her customers in this kind of real estate. So she started calling herself the real estate whisperer, and she started writing a book that was going to enable people to figure out creative ways to buy real estate at any level, because she knows as a woman that it's very important for women to own property to build our wealth. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. I could talk about that forever. But anyway, through our, when working with Lisa, she really came to that realization that her loving and caring spirit was something that she really needed to bring out in her field. So what would this mean for you if you were truly open to the inspiration that was waiting for you? Because it is waiting for you. Can you feel the inspiration waiting for you? So what we've learned today, we've learned about astrology, we learned about our sun sign, our moon sign, our rising sign. Don't you agree that it was time well spent, right? And it's not all enough time to teach you all I want you to know about my Astro Brand framework, about how to uncover your brand soul, how to recognize and overcome the challenges holding you back, and how to create the brand voice and style that will engage you. Oh, thank you, ladies. Thank you. I'm so glad to spend time with you because, when we don't invest in ourselves, right? When you think it's like, oh my gosh, this is like too expensive, I can't afford that yet. We've all figured out how to afford things that are super, super important to us. And what has it cost you already? I put down some like numbers here, like $1,500 on a DIY social media course that you never took. You just bought it. You didn't like take it. $3,000 on a website that didn't really align with you, that you did nothing with. Like fast forwarding to the end, $6,000 on lost sales because you actually didn't put yourself out there to be seen, or $10,000 on lost income because you keep undercharging and over delivering. These numbers are real numbers. These are numbers that I've wasted. All right. I want you to know that it is more expensive to not invest in yourself. So this is your choice. You have a choice if you want to invest in yourself and in your brand, and by this time next year to look back at all of the amazing things that you've done, right? And my promise to you is to unlock your brand soul and to open your business up, to evolve your brand to the next level, and to show you the way to get the results that you deserve and desire, right? This is all about what you uniquely want. Oh, thank you, Noelle. She says that I am amazing for this. So today I promised you that you will open yourself up to inspired opportunities to get activated and elevate your business to the next level, and what you need to get the results you desire. I want you to have confidence and to go out there and be exactly who you are, to brand who you are. So, you can do it slowly, like how I did, being stuck and invisible for 15 years. I'm 45 years old now, ladies. So you can be stuck for 15 years, or you can take the wiser choice. Like I only, if I had known to invest in myself sooner, if I had trusted in myself to invest in myself sooner, oh my gosh, what did I created all of this in 1 year. I'm a baby. I don't feel like it. I finally feel like the wise soul. So don't wait 15 years like I did. Get help from someone who's been there before, right? I know the challenges that you've had. I've heard them all, and I've experienced them all, more importantly. And so this is my gift to you, right? I have a 30-minute brand clarity session. It's no obligation. It's a free gift to you. During this time, we'll uncover the vision of your business, where you're at now, where you want to be, and look at all of the roadblocks that are holding you back. And if I think that you might be a good fit, I am looking for members for my Crystallized Brand Coaching Circle. Applications are open right now. So please still take this 30-minute brand clarity session, even if you're like, I'm not ready to improve my brand. Well, that's not true. Take this brand clarity session if you're thinking about elevating your brand, if you're excited about the opportunities that are waiting for you, right? There's no obligation to join Crystallize. And I will only make the invitation if I feel that you're the right fit, because I am looking for women business owners who are ready to take action. I'm looking for women business owners who are ready to put away the excuses. I'm looking for women business owners who are ready to elevate their business no matter where they are in their brand journey. You can be a beginner who's like, I'm going to start off on the right foot. You can be an experienced, seasoned businesswoman, experienced business owner who's like, I just need to get off this hamster wheel, right? But the most important thing is that you're tired of making excuses and you're willing to do the work, right? So if if you're making excuses, if you don't have faith in yourself, if you don't believe in investing in yourself to grow, if you love playing the blame game, I'm not your woman, right? You can tell that I'm not your woman. But if you're excited to make change, I am here for you. So, oh my gosh, you're so welcome. So, apply for a call. I would love to meet you. We're coming on a long weekend. My tomorrow is already booked with calls, unfortunately. So I won't be taking calls until Tuesday again, and I don't want to lose that momentum. So please, please sign up for a call. I have extended my early bird bonuses until that Tuesday, September. Jeff, can you put in there September, I think it was 3rd or 5th? But basically, if you join Crystallize, my brand coaching circle, it's a 16-week program. We start, our first call is in October, but there's a lot of work to be done. I don't know if you can see this, but I have this goodie box. It's full of mindset things to get you started before our first call. When you join Crystallize, you're going to get astrological insight. We're going to get you aligned to your ideal customer. We're going to get your belief system all in check, right? We're going to get you to embody your brand. I'm going to give you systems for telling your brand story and expertise. We're going to focus on how to share your vision with the world. I'm going to give you strategies on how to package up your brand and present it, all of your offerings, so it shines bright like a diamond. Crack myself up. And I'm, of course, going to be there to give you instant feedback. Like, this is like an intimate coaching circle. This is like one-on-one strategy. This is like group community. This is not DIY, right? You're not going to like sign up for this course and never take it. Like, I'm going to be with you every freaking week, making sure you're doing the work, checking in so that you're not getting stuck, because I want to promise you that you are going to get those results. All right. So sometimes other people see things in you that you can't see for yourself, and I can see it in you, right? I want to be your brand navigator, and again, I have this gift for you. If you think you might be a good fit, this is the perfect time. Imagine, by 2020, when our 16 weeks are up, you're going to have a new vision for your brand. You're going to have so much crystal clarity on how to show up in the world to be seen. So thank you so much for joining me. You're so worth it. And, if I'm not the right guide for you, please, whatever you do, invest in yourself. You're so worth it. Don't wait. Trust in yourself, invest in yourself, because you got this, girl, and I got you. All right. So make the wise choice. Thank you so much. Oh, Julie, you're welcome. Blessings. If you have any questions, I'm going to stay on for, a few more minutes. And I really, really hope that you take up my gift to you. Oh, and new moon tomorrow. Make sure you do your ritual tomorrow to set your intentions for how you want to be of service to others. Thank you, everybody.